Hey guys, it's Paradise, and have you heard that there's not only the 2 dragon form transformations, but there's also a third one, the Omen form, and this can be obtained by finding an item called the Lamenter's Mask. Just like the dragon form, being in the Omen form grants you bonuses to your resistances, but this time you get a few extra benefits. The mask allows you to use it again while transformed to attack, where your head swells up and hits an enemy, and it's actually strength scaling, so if you want to pump that up, you can. Interestingly though, this mask also offers physical and magical defense boosts of around 10% for some stats. One of the biggest benefits though is that it gives you around 8 arcane, which is great for those doing challenge runs or for anyone that wants to play with no armor, as one of the requirements for using this is that you have no armor on in order to transform. So let's not waste any time and show you exactly how to get this, as it isn't something you would necessarily just find. There's a few steps involved. We're going to head to the Sharo's Hidden Grave area, so if you already have this location, you can head right over to the Lamenter's Jail, but this area of Sharo's Hidden Grave isn't a common fast travel point, especially if you're new to the DLC. If you do have it, you can skip to the next timestamp to the dungeon section. Otherwise, we're going to show you how to get here from the closest Grace point, which you'll have from the start of the game. So we'll start from the Castle Front Site of Grace and follow this route. So from Castle Ensis, hop on your mount and follow this path to the east. We're going to actually follow this path all the way up until the next Grace point, where we'll break off to the right. There will be some enemies on the way, but as usual, if you're mounted up and you're riding, you'll be fine to just get past them without any trouble. However, there will be an invasion at a certain point coming up in a few minutes, so might want to get ready for that. Once you get past these glowy wormy boys, there will be a grace point around this area, and we want to break off to the right and go down through here where all of the dragon statues are. It's around here that you'll be invaded by the ancient dragon man, who's the boss of the dungeon that we're coming up on, but after the invasion is complete, it's pretty easy, to be honest. You can just fight him as a boss at the end of the dungeon. So keep following this route past all the dragon statues until you get here by the torch, which will be the dungeon entrance, and just inside there'll be a grace point that you can pick up so you can fast travel back here anytime. It's a pretty easy dungeon to go through. Just know as you come in, you want to immediately head to the left and follow the sort of more linear path as we go deeper down into this cave. Stick left here and there'll be a few enemies, and we want to go straight ahead past the enemy with the spear and the archer, and when we get to this next section with the stairs, you want to go downwards, not up the stairs. You can go up the stairs if you want to fight an optional dragon, otherwise go down and you'll see a big hole here which we can actually jump down, and it is survivable, at least luckily. So when you come forwards though, this will be a boss room to fight the ancient dragon man properly. After he's defeated, you can just pass through as we are. You'll get a grace point, and then we're coming out inside of the dragon area of the map, which is a really cool part of this whole new DLC. So mount up and just head straight, where in the distance you'll see a sleeping drake. As you get to the very bottom by the sleeping drake, that's our cue to pull off to the right, and you can defeat it if you want to, but if you just want to go straight to this location, just dodge him. He shouldn't wake up as long as you just avoid him. Go through this section with all of the giant golden goats or rams. There's a bunch of them in this area. I would love to know the lore as to why they're there, but eventually you'll get up to this giant dead dragon. This is the new dragon altar in the DLC, and this is just a really cool part of the map. But what we want to do is actually ride over this dragon just across the right, you can see here, hop onto its wing and head straight over its sort of foot there, and you'll see this very red looking area, which is the raised part of the Cerulean coast, and this is how we get to the Sharon's Hidden Grave, as you can see. So by heading just straight forwards and then going left when you get to the ghost boat, this is a optional mini boss I believe, so you can fight it if you want to. Otherwise follow our path and eventually you'll come up on the grace point, which is the nearest grace point to this actual dungeon that we're trying to get to. So grab the grace point there if you don't have it. Otherwise head through the cave into this area with all of the birds and tombstones, and watch out because you will get, not really invaded, but there will be a boss that spawns in this area. As you can see, the Deathrite bird. But if you follow our path and you go down this little waterfall area, we're going to get to the cave entrance very, very soon. So you can see, just follow the path down, jump across this little ledge on the waterfall. There'll be a bunch of cages and the entrance to the dungeon, which is where we're going to get this item. So we're going to need to get 2 keys in here to unlock doors that allow us to go deeper and deeper to the boss, and the boss will drop the actual transformation item for us. So grab the grace point when you get to the dungeon, and head inside. There's a bunch of alternate turns in here, so follow closely. We want to unlock that door, but first we need the key, so head left, and you can see past the first door, you get to this open section, and that's your cue to turn right, where there'll be 2 shadow enemies and a chest. And inside of this chest will be the key to the first door. You can see the jail upper level key. It's right here on the map, although the map's not super helpful while you're actually in a dungeon. But now we want to head back to that first locked door and unlock it, and progress deeper inside. So open the door and head down the ladder. You don't really want to jump down here because it is quite a fall, so make sure you use the ladder. As you can see, it's a fairly linear path. There'll be some pots now. These pots are very dangerous. When they shatter near you, the screams will damage you, so you will need to chug some health potions after running through. Then run into this section where the actual floor will break and a bunch of shadow guys will grab you. You might die here the first time, but essentially drop down, go through the open door, up these stairs, keep progressing up the stairs to the second door on the right, and we want to go in this second door on the right. Inside there'll be a small jump to make, so don't fall down that hole, and then progress through the more linear path to this room with all of the pots, and we want to stick to the left as we go around here. You might have to kill the pots in here because you need to get to this chest, but as you can see, they are super aggressive with their spinny attacks, so take the pots out or just yoink the item if you can. I chose to take the pots out because I have a pretty strong greatsword build here, as you can see. But this will be the second key, the lower jail level key, which is going to allow us to get even deeper down. After you pick that up, head back in the way that we came, so parkour your way back up onto the pots. Make sure you jump over the little gap that's coming up ahead, the one that we jumped over on the way in. And then we want to head higher up these stairs to the next room, where you can see we will get ambushed, but keep running forwards and drop down. There will be one of these horrible pot enemies that you may want to defeat because we need to open that locked door in the northern corner. So open this door, and we've nearly made it all the way through now. We're very close to the boss. So drop down the ladder after coming through this section. And when you look around from landing, you'll see the big foggy boss door. Inside of here is, of course, the boss, and it'll be like a little Omen. And he's not too difficult, but he has a trick where he creates a million clones of himself. It's quite a fun fight, to be honest. I don't think it's that hard. Just be wary, you need to keep mobile while the clones are up, and of course your summons will help you if you need them here, because then they won't just all be aggroed on you. But otherwise, it's a very fun boss fight, and eventually after taking him down, you're going to get the Lamenter's mask for yourself. The mask is actually a very cool option and a fun thing to play if you want to do a cosplay run. I would recommend visiting this cave anyway, because on the first floor, next to the one where you got the key for the first gate, you can actually pick up the chilling perfume, and we all know that these perfume bottles are absolutely busted at the moment. The mask, however, is definitely aimed at light load builds, and it's great to give people more options for no armor sweat runs. To be honest, we cannot wait to see someone do a headbutt only run of the whole DLC. But which transformation is your favorite? The Priestess's Heart, the Rock Heart, or the Lamenter's Mask? Drop a like and comment below if we've helped you out with this video, and subscribe because we have way more Elden Ring Shadow of the Erdtree content coming your way very soon.